Now I'm starting to really get concerned. The Gervonta Davis hate continues to grow. The hate train is full steam ahead. It's full of passengers all aboard. Now, this is an Ego Thoughts video. I told you I'm going back to the basics, just talking about boxing. It doesn't have to be something that other people are talking about, just what I want to talk about. And I'm noticing a pattern. If you want clicks, if you want views, if you want attention, talk about that man, Gervonta Tank Davis. We're seeing it from content creators, people on YouTube, people on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. This is a thing to do. It is now fashionable to do that. It's a quick and cheap way to try to gain interest because the Tank fans will cuss you out and tell you how wrong you are. And then the Tank haters, it's an easy way to, I guess, try to get them on board. And we're even seeing it with the fighters, former fighters, Paulie Malignaggi, and also guys like Tim Bradley, where seemingly they have nothing nice to say about Gervonta Davis. And it's so funny because you could tell who's insanely biased by what they say and who they say it against. Like, you mean to tell me out of all ESPN fighters, you have an ESPN commentator in Tim Bradley, he sees no fault really with a lot of these ESPN fighters, but he's so fixated and focused on Gervonta Davis, who literally has nothing to do with his network, has never performed and fought on his platform, but he cares so much about what Tank is doing, right? Tank needs to step it up, but then you got, let's say, Richard Torres, heavyweight, right? Nobody's saying he needs to step up, and he'll call Torres's fights, and it's not just Torres, it's anybody. Let's say F.A. Ajagba or anybody on Top Rank, he'll call their fights and act like these are the best matches ever made, but then wants to hold Gervonta Davis to some crazy higher standard than that. Like Teofimo Lopez, that was an ESPN fight, and Teofimo can fight Steve Claggett. I believe he has 7 losses, and Tim Bradley doesn't bat an eyelash. He doesn't care. He calls the fight like normal. The whole commentary is not criticizing Teofimo like, hey, you're a champion. You fought Lomachenko. You are too far along in your career to probably be taking this fight right now. Why are you fighting Steve Claggett? You don't hear that. But let it be Gervonta Davis fighting Frank Martin. Somehow this becomes a problem. Same thing with Paulie Malignaggi and fans. And the content creators. You got content creators who make frequent content about Gervonta Davis, but claim they don't like Gervonta Davis. What would be the point of that? Why not focus on Devin Haney? Because a lot of it is Haneyhack energy. Guys who are obsessed with Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson, but then they hate Gervonta Davis, which is corny to me because it's boxing. It's okay to like Jackie Chan and Jet Li and say that Bruce Lee is the GOAT. These things are okay. Like, I grew up on martial arts movies. I'm a fan of all of them. I'm a fan of Jackie Chan, Rumble in the Bronx. Obviously a fan of Jet Li. I think I first really started catching wind of him in the Lethal Weapon movie. I love Donnie Yen. You know, I'm a martial arts head. Of course, Bruce Lee's the GOAT. You know, Jean-Claude Van Damme, GOAT. It's okay to like all of them. You know what I mean? But in boxing, you got these beta males and beta male energy, and they act like to like Shakur and Devin means you off top, off rip, gotta hate Tank. And it's just, to me, it's corny. And it just lets you know that you're doing something right. If the people aren't talking, then you might not be doing it right. When the people talk and keep your name mentioned, that's usually doing something right. And I will say this, a little caveat to what I just said. There's a lot of shock value, like shock jock people in content creation. I'm not talking about that because, of course, you could say something highly crude, distasteful, and offensive and get a rise out of people. I'm not talking about going above and beyond and doing something extra in order to solicit a response. I'm just saying you're just being yourself. You're being true to yourself. You're not saying anything wild or radical. and then people are talking. Because to me, I look at that shock jock stuff as like Jerry Springer. Rest in peace to Jerry Springer. But it's like the Jerry Springer show. You have to do a whole lot. Like you look at people in boxing, you got to do a whole lot to get people to even want to frequent your channel. If you got to do all that Jerry Springer stuff and gossip and have a bunch of controversies. Me, I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. I don't have to do anything. The only thing I have to do is consistently put out content and be myself. I don't have to kick, veins coming out of my throat, scream. I don't have to slander nobody. I don't have to, only talk about one fighter. I do what I want. I wake up when I want. I make the content I want, and I just live my life. So that's that. But regarding Tank, you see an influx of people just outright hating on the boy. And it's pretty pitiful, if I'm being honest. It's pitiful indeed.